Hey everybody, it's Eric. We had some really important news come out yesterday, and I wanted to give you an update to anybody who's planning on selling or buying real estate. And so I'm Eric Peterson with Kopa Real Estate. Yesterday, we had a meeting with the Federal Reserve, and they decided to keep the interest rates the same. So what's the big deal about that? Well, more importantly, they indicated that they're going to be reducing interest rates 3 times next year. Projections are the March, May, and June Federal Reserve meetings. And the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell came out and said that it looks like he's more confident that they can manage this cutting interest rates without causing now a serious recession. So historically, when it's been time for the Fed to pivot and reduce rates, it's been because there's all kinds of problems with the economy and going into recession. So that'd be really good news because most of the people were expecting that we were going to go into a recession next year. So what does that mean? Well, the financial markets are already reacting to these rate cuts. They're basically being built into both the stock market and mortgage interest rates already. So let's take a look at what we've seen happen to the mortgage rates. We're actually getting quotes from some lenders of 30-year fixed rates below 6.5%, right? Average is 6.82%. But remember, the mortgage that you get if you're out buying a house is going to be determined by your credit score, down payment, loan amount, and all those kind of things, right? So don't just take it from me. But regardless, rates were over 8% just a couple of weeks ago. So this is a big deal that rates have come down and will make real estate more affordable. So if you're buying a house, that house that you were looking at your payment a couple of weeks ago, you might be able to afford it today with a lower payment, still with a fixed rate mortgage. And we do expect that there's going to be, because of this, that there will be more demand from buyers going into the spring season next year. We also expect that there's going to be more sellers selling next year as well. So that's the flip side of this. And so it's going to be a battle to see who wins out. Typically, the demand wins out, but I do think that there's a logjam of sellers, and I know based on our business, the people that are contacting us about putting homes on the market next year, it's a big deal. Keep something in mind. What the Federal Reserve is talking about, and they don't directly reduce mortgage rates, but there's like a trickle-down effect. But none of this means that interest rates are going back to 3% anytime soon, anything like that. And 6.5% is still higher than what we would like to see to really see buyers jump into the market. So what the new home builders with their interest rate buy downs, what they've been doing for the last year and a half, what they show is that mortgage rates really need to be below 6% in order to see demand really jumping. So we're a little ways away from that, but we are moving in the right direction. And more than anything, just having some stability in the mortgage market where people aren't freaked out about it, that, especially somebody that's thinking about selling the house and buying another house, there's so much worry going on that, if you put your house on the market at 6.5%, you might sell at 6.5% and then have to buy at 8%, or sell at 8% and have to buy at 10%. And that's kept a lot of sellers on the sidelines as well. So all of this is, no matter how you want to slice it, it all is good news. So a couple things to keep in mind, right? Regardless of all this, and you're going to see a lot of this in the news. This is our next January newspaper. The headline article I talk about, does it make sense and solve your problem? So this is we're going into our 10th year of business. And ever since we started, that's always been what I've hit people with when they call me and ask me my opinion about something. Real estate agents have a bad habit of always saying it's always a good time to buy, always a good time to sell. Realistically, you want to think about it that way, that does it make sense and solve your problem? If it does, you probably should do it. If it doesn't make sense and doesn't solve your problem, maybe you shouldn't do it, right? So, give me a call or shoot me a message and we can talk about your particular situation. I might be able to give you the best advice that I can. We've got a lot of people already signing up for our home selling seminars. We've got 2 of them signed up in January. I do expect that they'll get busy. One at the Cedar Park Community Center and one at Moonshine Grill. Sign up at copaseminar.com to save your seat, right? Now let's take a look at the most recent statistics for November. in the Austin Round Rock metro area. We did see median prices drop 8% year over year, and active listings go up 7%. Again, this is a huge area, right? There's no national market. There's really even no metro market. This covers everything from San Marcos up to, into areas, towns that I've never been to, and I don't even know where they are. So let's have a conversation about your specific property, right? Looking at Williamson County stats, where a lot of our clients are, median price only dropped 8%, and active listings is actually down 12%. Active listing count is going to be really important to look at as we get into next year, because that's the inventory level will also help point us in the right direction of where prices are going to be heading. So a couple things here. Rates coming down, it's all really good news, but there's no economists that are really projecting a huge bump in real estate prices around our area. Nobody hopes that there will be more than me, but if you look at Realtor.com, their economist is projecting that there will be more homes on the market. They're predicting a 12% drop in real estate prices. I don't know about that. A couple of things here is that I don't know all of their methodology. That's one thing that's always challenging to give my opinion about all of this. I think it's probably a little bit overly negative. There's definitely homes that I see on the market right now that are going to sell for 12% or more below what their asking price is right now. So no doubt about that. And so some people might feel that huge drop in the market, but time will tell. And it just does depend a little bit on how many homes we see coming on the market. And again, this is just kind of something interesting. There is no national market, but Zillow's new housing estimate for the next year, they're predicting a 0% increase in market and prices for their market forecast for next year. So, take all of that for what it's worth, right? And again, we really want to talk about your specific situation and where you're going to go and what your real plans are before looking at any of this kind of stuff. So you don't want to be too optimistic and you don't want to be too negative about all of this as well. So let's talk about it first. All right. Thanks so much for your support, and reach out to me if we can help you with anything. Have a great day.